Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Four Direction. Today is November 4th, 2020. And I'm joined by special guests. Our topic today is going to be about the ongoing political situation in the continent and the future of the African Union organization or the African Unity Organization. The African continent is going through a lot of socio-political change that may bring a new elected leader in power or government. At the time that also with the COVID-19 in Africa, the Africa CDC has confirmed 471 million cases of COVID-19, of new COVID-19. And South Africa is still the highest country that has COVID cases in the continent. Also, some African countries are holding presidential election. At the same time, the AU had election for the African Union chairperson. So, also, the United States is going through the presidential presidential election. The question will be like, what is the future? What is the future? What is the future with the relationship between the United States and the continent? Take into the consideration that there is 1 million African descent people who are living residents in the United States. I'm joined by a special guest. I have a guest today from Nigeria, Mr. Udeme Udofia. He's the founder and president of Movement for New Nigeria. Welcome, Mr. Udofia.
Yes, Movement for. Thank you, Mary.
Welcome.
Founder and the president, international president, Movement for New Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. So just please tell me brief about the movement. What is the Movement for New Nigeria is doing? What is the goal and the objective of your organization?
Okay, thank you, Mary. We are a group of Nigerians that have come together to seek the issue of good governance in the country. For a long time, Africa has been saddled with the issue of good governance, and a lot of people point using fingers at the political class, the political leadership.
Mr.
Are you?
I can hear you, but there is still so much noise in the background. Can you use the headphone? Maybe you can try if it is less.
Okay. Is there any improvement? Yes. Hello, Mary. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Is there any improvement?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So, the movement for New Nigeria is out to raise a number of Nigerians, about 100 million Nigerians, to pursue the issue of legislation, to influence legislations in the National Assembly that will impact on the people directly. Because basically, the issue of governance in a democracy, what laws are made for the National Assembly. And in the African continent, with Nigeria as a case study, we realize.
I think even what you are saying is important, but there is I can hear you well. We can hear you well.
So what do I do? Because I guess
maybe there is a device on beside you, or you can try and use the headphones. Will that work?
I am using a headphone already.
Okay.
That's what I'm using. I think it might be network challenge. You know, there's infrastructure constraints in the continent.
Yeah.
So whether there are distractions or disruptions somewhere. then no.
Maybe you take the headphone and try without headphone. Maybe that way is better.
Is it better now?
Yeah, right now is better.
Better, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we are raising a number of Nigerians, about 100 million. So we influence legislations from the National Assembly so we can have good governance. That's basically what the movement is all about.
And how will you able to reach some Nigerians under the ground there and interact and work with them?
Come again?
How is the movement reaching the local community in Nigeria?
Okay, we have a set of leadership across all the. We have 774 local governments in the country, and in each of these local governments we have a subset of like political wards. So we raise exco members, we raise executive members to stand in for the group in all of the political wards. And in each of the political wards, maybe because they are segmented, it's not specific. But in some political wards, you have some like 10 villages, some like less, some more. So we raise information officers in all the villages in each of the political wards in the local government that will mobilize the people to come together so we can achieve our set aim.
So I just want to start. We'll be covering some news from different parts of the continent. Starting by today, Ethiopia, the Prime Minister has declared a state of emergency.
Please, I think I will use the headphone because I'm not really hearing you.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we'll start by the news that is hitting mostly the international news platform today. From Ethiopia, the Prime Minister has declared a state of emergency, restricts Tigray region in response to all alleged attack by the Tigray People Liberation Front federal military base. How is this news going to affect the stability in the East African region?
Please, can you come with the question again?
The decision of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia to issue a military response to the Tigray part to respond to the Tigray People Liberation Front. How is this going to affect the stability of Ethiopia and also the East African region?
I think basically the military, as a matter of fact, it's really. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Now the restructuring of the military in the Ethiopian country, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it could influence the continent. Like the challenge is it could influence the continent adversely because now the world over, military interventions are encouraged. So if the military are brought into the system, I don't really think it will overwhelm the growth of that country particularly.
So, just going back to the big campaign that the AU is holding now to ending silencing the gun. Why does it took Africa that long to start a campaign like fighting the gun?
The challenge with the African continent, as a matter of fact, is the greed of the political leaders. That's basically why it's taking so long to silence the guns on the continent. If we have sincere leaders, I think by now the issue of gun running in the continent would have been reduced drastically. But because of the greed of the political class, you realize across the continent there's strife, there's a civil strife in almost major economies of the continent. So it is because the leadership has failed the people. That is why we've not been able to achieve this particular, campaign to silence the guns in the continent. Because people are not happy. A lot of confusion in the continent. So it's majorly because of the great of the political leadership in the continent. I think that is responsible for that long time the guns have not been able to be silenced.
How long do you think that silencing the gun campaign will work?
Well, as long as the leadership, probably because if the African people are still looking up to the leadership, it might still take quite some time. So it depends on when the people would have, reawaken their interests and their zeal to put things right in the country. Because if you look at it now, it's basically at the people that are going to take, you know, their destiny in their own hands. So as long as the people are going to be able to mobilize themselves and come together and be able to address the issue of leadership challenge, that is how long it will take the country. But otherwise, it might take a very long time if we have to allow it to be in the hands of the leaders. So it may not really be so predictable as a matter of fact. It depends on the people, the African people, the masses, how soon they will be able to realize that they have to take their destiny in their hands. As soon as they are ready, they will be able to restructure that. Maybe give the people the governance, and by so doing, the people, the guns will be silenced, at least a bearable level.
Talk to me about SARS. Why the Nigerians are protesting now, and what is their demand? What did they want to achieve?
Okay. SARS, as a matter of fact, the challenge of a particular department, police force, is an anti-robbery squad. I think it was still the group was set up by the serving president when he was the military head of state. That was in the mid-80s. So he set up the SARS because of the crime level of crime in the country so that they can contain the crime level. But as a matter of fact, over time, the guys have gone out of the mandate they were given, and they had taken up criminality as their way of operations. So they have dealt brutally with citizens in different shades. And I think it got to an unbearable situation. That is why the people revolted that the government has to end that particular department of the police force. That's what basically brought about the protest. And I think the protest they will break in some few days because I think in between the protests, some bad guys hijacked the protest and started causing mayhem. So the government stepped in, and I think from the international community, you would have let some big guys fire some of those protesters. The protesters are the real protesters. They've started regrouping to go back to the streets. So it is basically the appeal to the government to scrap that particular department of the police force. And government actually responded by scrapping that department of the police force and setting up a different department. But from my personal perspective, I don't see anything different because most of those guys that were still in that department are going to be deployed to the new department. So they might just cease from their progressive performances for a short while. Then over time they might decide to pick up their mode of operations again. So the police force needs total reorganization. The police force needs total reorganizing for us to have a police force that will serve the people the way it is meant to be.
So what would be the outcome of SARS in case right now the police is continuing attack and violation against civilians? What is the way forward? What is the way that they can save those people's life and listen to their demand also?
The truth about the matter is just this. That is even why we came up with our initiative, the movement for the new Nigeria.
Mhm.
Because majorly, the legislative arm of the government are supposed to be a check on the executive. And the executive, the police force are directly having instructions from the executive. So, but unfortunately, in our country, the legislative arm of government have failed in their responsibility. Most of the time, when you see them try to take on the president, it is for their personal purposes. They have used that platform to enrich themselves, and they put the citizens' concern behind them. So the legislature, why we come up with what we are doing, the initiative, is for us to mobilize the people to be able to use their number to compel their representatives in the National Assembly to contain issues like this, either by law or by compelling the executive to enforce specific laws, because there are laws already in the land. But these laws, most of the time, are not executed. They are ignored. So, by the numbers we are raising, we are going to compel the National Assembly. We are going to use our numbers to make sure the National Assembly live up to their responsibility. Because one thing about the democracy we are practicing, people don't know their right. They must don't know their right. They feel once you go to just into a political office, that is the end of it until it serves out its end. People don't use the issues, the instrument like reform processes. So we are trying to bring the people together to educate them so that they know that their representative can be answerable to them, can be responsible to what they want. By so doing, if the person representing them, maybe the National Assembly, knows the people, know the process through which they can be reformed, then they will sit up to do what they are supposed to do. Because if you don't do what you were voted to go and do as a member in the National Assembly, you know automatically your people will recall you. So we are trying to bring the people together through these means so that we impress it upon the National Assembly members. They have to do their job. They have to live up to their responsibility of checking the executive so that they will implement laws as it has the laws of the land.
And how do you think the civil society will be quick on that?
Come again.
What is the role of the other civil society? How can the civil society be working alongside with the government in that case to
That
form
is what
new laws and legislation?
we are doing. We are when we say we are mobilizing the citizens, we are equally we are doing a collab with majority of the civil society so that we march in the same direction. Because basically laws are not like the SARS challenge we are having, the police brutality. It is because the police are even supposed to be the ones to handle to effect to handle the issue of executing what the police are supposed to take care of the citizens. But unfortunately, the police, because they are either underpaid, the police are not taken care of. So they use their guns, they use their uniforms to export from the people. So we are doing a collaboration with all the majority of the civil group, so that we move in the same direction, so that we compel our leaders to execute the laws the way they're supposed to be.
Mm. So we're moving forward. The protest, the peaceful protest that is, and the revolution that is taking place around the continent. What do you think about that?
Come again.
Your opinion on the peaceful revolution that is taking place in the continent in different countries?
Yes. the people are moving in the right direction. That is exactly what it is supposed to be. The African continent, the African people. Because if you look at what has been happening over the years, our leaders seems they are not leading the people. They are just leaders for themselves. Maybe to use the office to either enrich themselves, to use the office to advance the interest of their families. So it is just the people now. The people have to take the bull by the horn, and it's exactly what the people are doing. The peaceful demonstrations are commendable. It is the only way that will set the pace for good governance in the continent. Otherwise, the people will continue to languish in all this situation we are going through. It is commendable. It is what will put the continent on the right path of good governance.
Into moving forward to the election, the organization of the African Unity. How do you and also the upcoming election to choose the chairperson of the AU? How do you envision the future of the African Unity Organization?
Well, the African, the AU, as a matter of fact, the AU, as a matter of fact, is an organization that is supposed to really better the lot of the African continent. But the way it goes, it looks like the AU is more or less a toothless bulldog. Because major countries that are financiers to the AU, for instance, take Nigeria, that is a populous nation. If we make contributions to the AU and we are not in compliance with the AU trade, it will be very difficult for the AU to be able to do anything in Nigeria. Like the NSAS challenge, like the NSAS protest, you would have seen, we are witness to the fact that some harmless youth were gunned down by the military. Now, what will the AU do in that regard? The AU may not be able the AU may not be able to rise up to the occasion because Nigeria is a big player in the organization. That is from my perspective. But as a matter of fact, it still boils down to the leadership challenge we are having in the continent. Because if that is a conglomeration of leaders that are not responsive to their people, it's highly going to be politicized and they may not be able to deliver on their core mandates. So I still think it goes back to the people to get good leaders who will go to the apex organization of the continent. Then that particular organization will look responsive to it. Whatever will be done at that level, if we have good leaders, will reflect on what the people of the continent, and the developmental stride on the continent will pick up fast.
So, taking into some other part of East Africa, South Sudan also is going through a tension, and there's recently a peace agreement signed, and also the coup in Mali. So, what do you think the solution will be for these two countries?
Well, the coup in Mali, it is still equally very connected because when President Ibrahim Keita was forced to resign by the military guys, what is the challenge? What is the problem that he was forced to resign? It is because he has failed to restore security. He has failed to address the issue of corruption, and the living standard of the people is bad. Military is not a solution because, like in the case of Nigeria, when we had the military guy who took over, they normally come in with the excuse they want to reorganize the system, but they leave the system worse than they made it. So it is the failure of government. It is a failure of the leaders in these countries that are going about this. That like the question with the African continent is I don't really know how our leaders look at issues because people are crying. There's so much deprivation in the continent. There's hunger. There is sick. There are so many challenges, infrastructure challenges. And you come in, you go out, you get loans, and you don't you go out, you get loans, and you divert the loans. You don't even use it for what you went out to get the loans for. So this leadership failure is what is fueling all of these crises. And just like Atil said, it still boils down to the people of Africa, the continent, the masses. They have to rise up. They have to draw up a strategy to make sure they make the leaders accountable. If they are able to make the leaders accountable, it will be difficult for the militaries to come into government because that is not their responsibility. We need civil society. We need democracy in Africa. So, but if we continue if we have the leadership challenge, the military guys will have the excuse to come into government. You can see the condemnation, the Mali and the South Sudan military interventions that are as attractive globally. But it is as if you see the military come in and the people are jubilating. This shows that the people are tired. This shows that the people are fed up of even the democracy, and it is not supposed to be. And why this is happening is because these leaders have been failing the people. Because democracy is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But unfortunately, the people who are supposed to be the core, the center of this particular kind of system of governance are completely they are completely reduced to the background, and the leaders are just doing their own business, advancing their business interests, representing their family interests and all of that. So the outcry from the people is what is encouraging military intervention. So but we don't have to be at the sympathy of these leaders who are not responsible. The people just have to step out to demand governance from them.
Okay. Going back to Ivory Coast, the president Al Hassan Ouattara has just won a third election, and he's in power now. And also, there is protests taking around, and people have been attacking by the police. How do you see this in Ivory Coast?
This is just almost a similar issue to what is happening across the continents. The people are protesting. The uproar is as a result of the fact that you win an election. Most times in the African continent, the election results are not representing what the people want. There's so much massive rigging in elections in Africa. So the government is supposed to get legitimacy by reason of a good political, a good electioneering process. But if the election comes and the process is overwhelmed with fraud and all of that, that is the outcome. There will be massive outcome. There will be massive, protests that are witnessing in Ivory Coast. And these leaders, they will use all this, the police, they will use the military and try to silence them. It's just not good for the development of the continent. It is high time. Okay, look at it, the US elections is going on today. The result will be a reflection of almost what the people want. So that if anybody should lose the election, you will know this person was not wanted by the people. Anybody that people want is who is going to make, who is going to win in the election. So to that extent, what we are witnessing is unacceptability of the leaders by the people. And the leaders, in essence, want to suppress the voice of the people by using the forces like the police and all of that. And it is not so healthy for the growth of Africans. That is just the truth. So we have to find a way to work these things around so that African can develop. Because with the prevalent circumstances, it is still going to take the continent a long time to develop. and to get to a level to be able to compete with their contemporaries in other parts of the world.
Yeah, also Guinea just recently have an election, and the president has come into power. Diallo,
Yeah.
President Diallo is, yeah, for the third term. Like he's be also. How is it going to be in Guinea? Because when the election come, the Guineans see that there is hope for change. There is other candidates who are coming, and also there were female candidate in power. So how the situation going to be in Guinea as well?
Well, you see, the challenge of the African continent is that leaders don't want to leave office. They would use all means. You can imagine there's a lot of killing going on in that country. Leaders don't want to leave their office, and I don't know why. It's just a challenge. It's a general challenge of the African continent. Once anybody comes into power, that person wants to make sure he stays in power as long as he can. You can see a similar thing try to happen in Nigeria during the 20 when this particular democratic experiment started.
Mhm.
President tried to up a law when that law was not. That is to say, you are trying to change the law. You are trying to change the rules of the game in the middle of the game. When you came into power, that law was not there. Because you just wanted to stay back in power as long as you could, you needed to put up a new law so that there can be an extension of the tenure. So what is happening in Guinea, it's just a reflection of the challenge we have in the African continent. Leaders want to leave office because they are the truth is most African leaders are not representing themselves. They are representing themselves, their interests, business interests, their families. All other people are kept out of the equation. It's a problem. The Guineans, they were very happy, they were enthusiastic because other candidates were on the ballot and they felt they would be able to make change. But just like I had earlier said, most times in Africa, election results will not reflect the true motive of the people. They manipulate the processes to the advantage of the people that are in power. So that's what we are seeing in Guinea. And to that extent, it will not add to any development in that place. It's going to be strife, it's going to be protest, and they will use the police to suppress them, go ahead with the killing. Because they feel if maybe like it happened in Nigeria, you go out, you see the protesters, they organize themselves, they were very peaceful. Even when the military came, if you watch the video, they say everybody should sit down. They didn't want to run. But the military, the leadership feel once you kill one or two, the rest will run for their life. They try to instill fear in the people to be able to get their way. And that's what's going on in, and it's not actually development in Africa. We need to change the narrative. We need to change the narrative. I think because these are similar issues in different countries or continents. So I think even the youth need to have a mass movement across the countries of the continent. They come together because now it is clear. You are supposed to be very responsible in all of these kind of issues. But like I earlier said, they look like a two-legged bulldog. They can't really able to influence some kind of thing. So I think it is the people now that should come together. Like what we are trying to raise 100 million youth in this place. So we come together to influence legislations. Because if we now tell you you are representing us in maybe in the National Assembly, this is what we want. If you know you truly represent us, there's a recall process by law. So if you know you are representing us, this is the bill we want. Now we are sending in a bill that will impact directly on the people. Like now, for example, we have very high cost of governance in our country, Nigeria. The National Assembly members, like a senator, earns more than the president of most nations of the world. So we want to cut down on the cost of governance. And we know by the time we have 100 million people across different senatorial districts, across different constituencies, we'll be able to force them to enforce this. And by enforcing this bill, we want them to go on part-time legislative representation. So we'll cut down on all of the expenditure that is going on in that arm of government. There was a budget that just came up. The budget for the Ministry of Health, the budget for the National Assembly members that are not up to 500, it's almost 8 times budget for the Ministry of Health that will take care of over 200 million people. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. You realize that these guys are just there to serve their pocket. And the issue of corruption, massive looting of our resources across the continent, to Europe, to the US, to different parts of the world, there's a lot of massive looting from the leaders. So these are why the leaders want to make sure they still remain in power, either to cover their dirty parts or to still subdue the people and continue with the mass looting that is going on. So it really also well for the continent. We have to find a way around to change it.
So when you talk about like international intervention, what do you mean by that? Is it you refer to a military intervention in the continent?
Please come again.
I said earlier you mentioned the international intervention.
Hello, Mary.
When you talk about international intervention, what do you mean? I think we have a problem with network. Okay, let's continue then on another topic. The U.S. Department of State has removed Sudan from the terrorist country list. How is that going to help Sudan in terms of development and the stability in the East African continent also as well? Removing Sudan from the terrorist list, from the countries that are under the terrorist list, how is it going to help the country development?
You mean the you didn't get that question because you mean how the State Department removing the list of removing some countries from tourist list that is going to help the continent? Is that what you said?
Yeah. How is this going to help Sudan in terms of development? In terms of development, like development sector, how is that going to help the country? Yeah, I think we have a network problem. You know that Nigeria is and the continent is facing an internet challenge, and 75% is off now. And also Nigeria with SARS, they have a lot of difficulties. We want to continue doing our interview, but the guest is off now because of the internet facilities. So we are going to continue talking on our topic for today, the ongoing political situation in the continent and the future of the AU organization. Welcome back, Mr. Udofia. Mr. Udofia, the founder and president of Movement for New Nigeria. So it's just we are going to, because of the internet also access, we have a few questions that we are going to cover. Removing countries from the terrorist list, how is that going to help in the country development and peace and security?
Okay, removing the countries from the terrorist list, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really going to help to some extent, because if you place a country on the terrorist list, that means investment in that place will be affected, because you tell them what that means is a foreign direct investment will be affected drastically. People don't like to go to a country that is not secure to invest, to do business. And you see, because of the developmental status of the continent, most of the continent depend on foreign direct investment to be able to grow the GDP. So by removing the countries from terrorist lists, to encourage the direct foreign investment in those countries, and in return, it creates jobs, it creates employment, it creates wealth for the country, for the businesses. It will encourage foreign investment in those countries, so it will help the country to grow economically, to help the country. So it's a welcome development. It's just on the part of the countries to be able to complement that particular directive or policy of removing them from the list of terrorist countries. They have to they have to work on their security, so that that relationship will maintained, so that foreign direct investment can grow.
Mhm. So taking you to the FCTA, the Free Trade Area Agreement, and also the Western African countries has their new currency. So just the Free Trade Area Agreement, how is it going to help in the continent is in instability?
Well, as a matter of fact, the African Continental Free Trade Area, you mean, right?
The African Continental Free Trade Area.
Yeah, that's supposed to create the largest free trade area in the world, if we have to measure it by the participating countries. You understand? The
Yeah.
pact connects like 1.2 billion people across 5 countries, with a combined GDP of 3.4 trillion USD. So this will have a very big impact on the continent if we it is properly managed. But just by way of what we are seeing in the continent, we pray there should be a friction in the operations of these particular programs and agreements, because there are challenges in most of this kind of in most of this kind of program. Countries are afraid. The continent was colonized by uh, different countries. Like we have the French territory, we have the English territory, and their operation, the mode of governance in these countries are different. While the French colonized countries are having a relationship with their colonial masters that is different from the ones that were English colonized territory. They could be like, you can see Nigeria as a country just signed up, in this pact not quite long. The fear was the French territories, the French government, those kind of frictions, those kind of fear, it's what we are looking at, that would really derail this particular initiative. So we are believing, if the political class can come together, it will help the country, to help the continent grow, to help the continent grow. Yeah. So
Okay.
the economic relationship amongst the African states is just what a challenge.
Okay. CDC, the CDC Center by the AU have just announced that Africa has 47 471 million confirmed cases of COVID-19, and South Africa still has the highest. South Africa has 1 million 241 cases, and the CDC Center, the Central Disease Control by the AU, have confirmed in February when the COVID has started, and some countries like Senegal and also Madagascar and Senegal, South Africa have joined it. Why do you think there is a still increase in COVID-19 cases? What is the problem here?
It is simple to know what the challenge, why the spread of COVID-19 in Africa. It's supposed to still be the healthcare system in the continent. That is one. Secondly, the people of the continent, the poverty level in the continent is such that it is difficult to be able to regulate certain policies in the continent. Because people are poor, so they go out, they look for their daily bread. There are people who are earning, there are people whose daily bread is a function of how they go about them. So it will be difficult. You see, like what is happening in the US. I have relations in the US. When you call them, they tell you they don't go out because of this particular pandemic. You know, they make their orders and they deliver at their doorstep. But that would be difficult here because some people are laborers that go out daily to earn their daily income or their daily cost. How will you be able to resist the COVID-19 in such circumstances? So to that extent, it is the poverty level, poor health care system, you know, and the literacy level again is another challenge. So this factors combined to make the COVID-19 issue a challenge in Africa. We are only helped by God. Otherwise, if our kind of spread that was in the US was what happened in Africa, maybe it would have swept the continent. And I think that was responsible for prediction like the Bill had made that corpses would be literally on the streets of Africa. But it is just God help. And I believe, like some people say, God is an African. God has just so much of that's why you see the level we are the literacy level, the poor health care, the poverty, the lack of
Okay, cool. I think I'm going to ask also about the electronic system because Uganda is coming to an election in 2021, and president have just like legalized his age rank for presidency. But the question is how the electronic system is going to work in country like Uganda or, for example, the rest of the continent.
It is a welcome development for us to have electoral process, elections. The only challenge we are facing in the continent is the challenge of infrastructure. Take for example the program we are running. At a point in time, I wasn't hearing what you were saying. That is a result of poor infrastructure, poor internet services. So I only wish they can up their game and work on their network systems so that they can have a flawless, that will help because check the incidents of election rigging and all of that. We wish all other African countries will be able to leverage the electoral system so that the incidents of rigging, the incidents of thuggery will be reduced drastically. Because like it happens in my country, there's a lot of killing during elections, a lot of thuggery. But if the system was purely electronic, the thugs realize they don't have any work chance because the computer, the whole data will be captured electronically. So it is commendable if only they will be able to still get infrastructure facility in place to be able to work it out.
Taking you back to just a new, a younger youth from scientists from Nigeria have created a cheaper kit for COVID-19. What is the future of youth in the continent? How is it going to be 10 years from now?
Well, we have very energetic youthfulness in the continent. That is good. The youth are a resilience machine in the continent. Because if what is happening in Africa is happening in other countries of the world, and that's why you see the incident of wars in so many places. The youth in Africa are a race machine, so to say. and there are energetic set of people that are out to make sure they correct what the leaders are lacking. So looking up 10 years, I think the youth are likely to reshape the African continent. You know, even when the African continent will not be at par with other continents of the world, there will be a drastic improvement because the youth are not comfortable with the status of what is happening in the continent in terms of leadership, democratic behavior. So the youth are ready, they are confident enough to challenge. And it is commendable. So I think in the next 10 years, Africa, there's going to be an improvement because we have an energetic set of youth. We have youth that are ready to learn. You see in where education is bastardized, some people just go out, they try all they can to be able to get education. Look at those that have gotten scholarships to come out of the continent. They perform relatively well outside the shores of this country. Most of them, they are top in academic pursuit out there. So I think if the youths that are out already, as in the diaspora, should think back and be able to maybe repatriate technology. And not just the youth alone, our diaspora should be able to repatriate what they have learned outside. You know, they combine force to see how they can better the lot of the people out there. Because most of the people in the diaspora, in fact, all the people in our people, African people in the diaspora, they have relations far back home. So they should be able to but there are online programs. Even when the poverty level is the way it is, you should be able to, because you are there, be able to network with your people out here to give them access to education and all of that. By so doing, if we can network properly, in the next 10 years, the continent will be better off because it's a function of good education. Most countries of the African continent don't have good education. Most of them will graduate from school, and you realize that they have better graduates. So it is instructive that our diaspora brothers should understand and see how they can represent technology, education to the youths far back home. Maybe through online training and all of that. Information is power. So they should be able to liaise with the people who can send better information so that these people can leverage on facilities that are out there, free platforms, they can learn a lot of things so that the continent can grow because the continent lies with the youth. There's a whole lot of, if you check the youth population in the continent, it's over about 80%. So if we can work on this, you know, percentage of the people of the continent, in the next 10 years, the continent will be better. The youth goes because if you look at what people at age bracket the elders are doing, it looks like they don't have any, they don't care about what is going to happen. So the continent belongs to the youth because they're growing. They've been born into this system, so they need to advance the system. And they're trying on their own, irrespective of the bad governance, irrespective of poor leadership. So the youth are desirous to have a good country. They need just to be encouraged. Then our diaspora people need to, do a lot of networking to have access to that. The growth can be exponential.
Okay, I think I reached the end of my program at the Four Direction. My topic for today was the ongoing political situation in the continent and also the AU organization, the future of the AU organization. I was humbly joined by Udeme Udofia. He's the founder and president of Movement for New Nigeria. Well, thank you, Mr. Udofia.
There is a privilege. I think the network didn't really do justice to our program. I hope to be back to your program anytime soon.
Yeah, thank you. No worry. We know that the continent also is going through the challenge and recently Nigeria. So we'll try to have also more different series and shows to talk about the topic. We'll be following up on that. Thank you.
Program.
Sure. Have a good day. Bye. It's the end of our program. Our topic today was the ongoing political situation in the continent and the future for the AU. See you in next shows, different topic. I was your host, Mary Apollo. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.